boy, just be yourself. If people don't like you if you're being yourself, fuck them.
Los
Hollywood Kev,
and welcome to another episode of The Noize on iHeartRadio. If you haven't yet, go ahead and follow us at The Noize Podcast on the Big Three, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And, of course, follow Beat Network on everything. I'm going to go ahead and give y'all those handles later.
They should be used to it by now.
The easiest way, beatnetworkonline.com, gives you the access to everything. Yeah. And the site has finally been released.
Which is dope, by the way. I got to give you kudos for that because it's a hell of a site.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. But it's a collaborative effort. It's a team effort. Everyone's feedback definitely helped make it a better site. So if you haven't checked it out yet, beatnetworkonline.com and read some articles. So, of course, as some of y'all are noticing, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get some DMs about it, this show is coming out on Monday.
Yep.
I'm just going to be real. I was tired the other day. Like, I had nothing in me, and y'all was going to get the most half-assed episode, at least out of me. You know,
yeah.
Kev probably would have been super on point, you know, but I didn't have it. I had nothing in me.
I synced it.
Right, I was exhausted.
I synced it. That happens, especially with the month that just transpired. Mm-hmm. Solid month. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Shout out to everyone that was featured during Black Podcast Month. Shout out to Twice Talk. Shout out to Lemon Shade Podcast. Shout out to the Melanin Boulevard Podcast. And then shout out to Sophisticated Ignorance. Like, we really appreciate those appearances. We appreciate your commentary, your content. Those, listen, man, that was a really fun month.
It looked dope. I'm upset that I couldn't make it to all of the shows, but from what I've heard and the ones I've been on, it was definitely dope.
It was a good time.
And I think you may have started something.
I think so.
I think you may have started something.
If they follow suit, you know where it came from.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say on that one. But you know what? And I feel like we're starting to say this every year, which is fantastic. This was one of the blackest Black History Months I've experienced in quite some time.
I agree with you on that.
And not just because of Black Podcast Month, but, obviously Black History Month has been getting less and less recognized in media. Mm-hmm. But, with us having social media and with us having these platforms to speak on Black history, we made the whole month black. And then with Black Panther coming out and doing the numbers that it's doing.
That was like a stamp.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Yeah.
That was the stamp showing that this Black History Month is as black gonna be.
Yeah. I agree with you. It was definitely a Black History Month.
It was very black.
I mean, even
dark
across
skin.
Yeah, even across the platforms, like people were definitely saying stuff. Thought it was dope that on the Instagram page there was new facts about Black people, and not just the traditional, the MLKs, the Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, people that I didn't even know about.
Right.
I thought that was probably one of my favorite things about it.
One thing I was surprised about while we were doing the Black Facts is how many people weren't familiar with Black Wall Street. Like, when people think Black Wall Street, unfortunately, the first thing they think of is the game.
Right.
But, like, when they actually, read the story, well, at least read the synopsis that we put on the page, like, they went out and found out what exactly was Black Wall Street. Like, people didn't think American terrorism was that active back in the day, but that shit's been here.
I mean, I knew what Black Wall Street was. I knew how it all went down. It just still appalled me that, like, y'all really just went and killed and blew shit up for no reason.
Niggas was doing good.
For no reason. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of any time. Like, how do those press meetings go? Like, we're going to go drop some bombs on this part of the country. For what? Well, because they're black. Like, is that how it went? Like, that thing just baffles me. And I think as we go further, we need to see more of that across media.
Oh, yeah.
To bring people familiar with it. You know what I mean? And then kind of plant that idea. That's one of the best things I like about Black Panther is not only Wakanda was just a dope place, the idea of it is what I really carried with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I hope with Black Wall Street we can do the same thing.
I would love to see that happen again.
Yeah.
Just another form of Black Wall Street, and not in the, well, of course it would have to be in the neighborhoods to where we're, the majority. But, when you look at the story of Black Wall Street, white people were, if you really look at it, white people were coming to the hood to patronize businesses in the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the fact that there is so much gentrification going on, like, why not, better these neighborhoods and then create more opportunities for the black people that already live there instead of forcing motherfuckers out.
Yeah, you're forcing
them
out, so they got to go somewhere else where it's cheap and do the same thing all over.
Same shit over and over, and you're ultimately creating another hood,
basically.
Or you're putting all these people in this one area, overpopulating the area, and the shit's just gonna get worse because that animal mindset, the kill or be killed, the survive, spirit, that shit is still there.
Yeah, I agree with you. We need to figure out a way, like a lot of the rappers that we listen to said, buy back the block and start implementing some of those places. Don't just buy back the block just to say you did it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Give a place for your homeboys to stay. No, start making hospitals and start making grocery stores in these neighborhoods so these people got somewhere to go.
We're putting money, man, we could easily make our own Wakanda in the hood.
Exactly. That's what I mean. The idea, we can easily make that if everybody gets on one accord and they're really excited and willing to do it.
Right.
It's going to be, we're going to have to take some sacrifices, but the big picture is much better.
Right. Above all, keep doing what's going to bring unity, because the last thing we need as black people is dissension. And I want to see Black History Month be as black as it's been these last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Keep it going, keep it growing. Because like I said, every year I felt like, at least in the last 2 or 3 years, I felt like I've said, this is the blackest Black History Month we've had in quite some time.
It's definitely progressed.
And it's just getting more and more. And think about all the black history that got made during Black History Month.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. You're absolutely right. Like, hell, I think you said it last year. This year is going to be a great year for black people. And I think with so far, it's shaping out to be just that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think when it comes to media, when it comes to that bag, black people's price tag just went up.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I truly believe that. In a good way, not the bad way.
Before we get into some of the other conversations that we had set up for today, I do have a story. I feel like I haven't told a story on this show in quite some time, especially in the last month.
It's been a minute.
It's been some time. Excuse me. So I meant to tell the story a while ago. It happened a while ago. But then we started Black Podcast Month, and I didn't want to interrupt what we had going on just to, tell some personal shit. So I have a coworker, and I don't know if this was a dude she was talking to, somebody she met off of Tinder, one of the whatever, and she said, they did what they did, and they was sleeping. I'm assuming they were drunk. I'm assuming they had some bottles or whatever. She said she woke up and the dude shit in her bed.
Wait.
Yeah.
Nah. So she was dreaming.
Now, I asked permission to tell this story. So if anybody from the job is listening, she told me I could tell it. But I'm sorry, continue.
Was she dreaming?
No, it was legit. It was legit shit. But not once. Twice.
Wait, time out. I got multiple questions with that. Number one, how does it happen more than once? Number two, what do you do after, if you're the guy and you didn't shit it in the bed the first time, do you just, oh, my bad, and roll back over and go to sleep? Like, what?
See, that's the question I asked. Do you know the amount of dick you have to slang to shit somebody's bed twice? And shit's just gravy? Like, she did kick him out. From what she was saying with the story, she kicked him out. But that's like the first thing that came to my mind. Like, I don't think there's a woman that fine in this world.
Nah.
That can shit in the bed. I get offended when you fart.
Yeah, nah. I really want to know how this played out.
Yo, I gotta ask the rest. I gotta ask for like more clarity on the story, but because I came in on the ass end and I was like, wait, hold on, what happened? And she started retelling. And I'm just like, please let me tell that story on my podcast because I feel like the world needs to know this.
Wow. What is the next day like?
No, I think she kicked him out that night.
No, I know, I get that, and I hope she did that. I'm a little upset that he had to do it twice. And then on top of that, what's the time frame between these shits? Is it like the person shit it and then a couple minutes went by, then he shit it again, or is it like he shit it and then as they're cleaning, what's the time frame between them?
I do remember. So they were drunk. They did go out the night before. They did go out that night, got drunk, got super drunk, and I assume they had drunk sex.
Man, can't nobody be that drunk to shitting yourself.
So I'm assuming he shit. 'Cause I remember she said something about she gave him some shorts and stuff like that. So he must have shit. She cleaned it up, or he cleaned it up. Somebody cleaned it up. I feel like it was her. And, they probably went back to sleep, and then he shit it again.
Yo, what's he say? It's so many questions with this.
Outside of the fact of her allowing him back in the bed.
Right.
The audacity that you was allowed back in the bed. It was
you decided,
she didn't care the first time. Out the bathroom too far. My shit's spinning right now. I'm about to just let this shit happen right now.
I want to know what was going on in his head. I
Waves
want to know what was going on, because he had to be the one to follow up with her the next day. Like, yo,
but what's that text message?
That's what I'm saying.
Day?
What is it about? Like, yo,
first of all, how do you open up like, good morning?
I don't know. Like, do you make up something? Say you was extremely sick? Do you say you thought you were in the bathroom? Like, how does this work? It takes me a good minute to even want to go shit around the chick that I'm dealing with. So for him to do it, I'm assuming maybe they were talking, whatever the case was, like, he had to be uber comfortable.
I think maybe that's probably why I had so much bad luck until now, because I never had a problem with that. I don't give a fuck if I know you 10 minutes. Like, I'll be right back. I'm going to go do something that you and I both do.
I mean, yeah, it should be that way. But for me personally, I'd be like, I'll wait.
Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Not me.
Obviously, he couldn't wait.
He couldn't wait whatsoever. And what's even crazier is that he really, really couldn't wait, because he couldn't even get to the bathroom. He let that shit fly. Pun intended.
I want to know, did he feel it come out and be like, well, it's too late now, and just let it fly, or did he try to make it to the bathroom?
All right, so let me ask you a question, right? You single? We work in media for the Grammys. Carrie Hilson may be right back into the league. Mm-hmm. No, fuck that. We at the Grammys. It's Rihanna. Rihanna's in the league. Mm-hmm. And shit go good. She go back to the crib. You do the do. Mm-hmm. She just leaves. She don't even say shit. She just leaves. Around 6 a.m, you see a one little Mr. Hanky turd just sitting right in her spot. How are you handling that?
That is a fantastic question. I think I probably would have handled it the same way if it was a random person, or just a regular person. And the reason being is because at the end of the day, yeah, you Rihanna, but at the end of the day, you know what the fuck the bathroom is. You know how to get to the bathroom.
Hey, I'm calling bullshit.
No, I'm saying I couldn't wake up the next day.
I'm gonna shoot her a text message, let her know that was fucked up.
Oh well, yeah, I'm gonna definitely let her know. I'm gonna definitely let her know, like, yo, that shit wasn't cool. I appreciate the sex, but this can't rock no more. I might check on her. I might ask her if she was sick or there's something wrong, because I can really only think that something had to be wrong for you to shit in the bed.
No matter what I say, that conversation is going to end with "Don't do it again," because she coming back. You're not about to just let that shit just fly. Like, you ain't about to just tag. And come on, man, you can't tell me around like she'll give you the best of your life.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna let that shit fly because of one lone piece of shit.
But then that opens up a whole new can of worms.
You just can't tell nobody.
How much of this type of behavior are we willing to tolerate from said people?
Now, if she come in and she smell like she ran to your crib, then it's like, okay, your hygiene is just fucked up. Like, I can't really get down with you. But y'all was drunk. You know what I'm saying?
I still have never been so drunk where I feel like I can't control my bowels. And I've been drunk to where I had to go pee every 5 minutes, it felt like. I think most men have, but never to the point where I'm like, I'm just going to let this one rock out. I don't feel like getting up. Nah. And I don't understand how somebody else can, unless something is wrong.
Or you are slanging, nigga. He must have put her
straight
to bed.
He had to. His shit had to be 12, 13 inches. He had to.
Nigga, what about This the only thing that could fuck up Rihanna shitting in the bed is if I roll over and
you roll over in the shit,
and you think it's like her foot. You try to like push it off, and you realize like, wait a minute,
wait,
that's way softer than.
What's that smell? Oh.
Either you use shea butter or this ain't your foot.
You said that she leaves early in the morning. So at first I'd be a little upset for multiple reasons. Number one, because you left. So the next morning when we wake up in this drunk field after sex, I at least want to look up like, yeah, I did that. It wasn't a dream. I don't want to roll over and see some shit in my bed. I'd be pissed off.
Yo, that would feel like a prank.
You feel like Ashton Kutcher gonna jump out somewhere.
You wake up like, no, I know I fucked Rihanna last
I know
night.
I did.
It had to be.
Where
the fuck did this piece of shit
you
come
start
from?
you start questioning everything. Did I do this? Did I do this in my sleep? I hope I didn't do this.
Was I so excited that I shit my bed?
Right. Did I do this? Did I do this when she was here? Or is this new?
Did she know? Is that why she left? Yo, so you can't address it. You just answer
can't.
why you can't address it.
You can't address it because you don't know if it was you or
if you're
not.
wrong, you're the nigga that took a shit in the bed.
With Rihanna in bed.
Which is why you have to hit her with the good morning.
You got to hit with her, you good? And she said, yeah, I'm okay. I had a great night.
You had a great night. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Nothing out of the ordinary happened? Okay.
I was a little drunk. I couldn't really remember. That's crazy.
You
I
can't
want to meet
address it,
her.
bro.
I want to meet her. I got so many questions.
You can't address it.
I got so many questions. I want to know I want to meet him.
I want to know what story did he tell. Like, hey, wait, man, what happened with that little cutie you took home, man? Don't even.
She shit in the bed.
Nah, you know what though? Even though he's a white guy, on some nigga shit, I'm pretty sure he was like, oh yeah, I hit that. I took that down, and that's where the story stopped.
Wait, he was a white guy?
Yeah,
See how?
come on, man.
He
was allowed to shit twice.
His
What
white
does that
shit
tell
in the bed. Oh Lord. I wonder was she still drunk when he shit the first time and she woke up like, oh fuck, I don't know what happened.
That's instantly sober.
I wonder, was this like diarrhea shit or is this like I ate a hearty meal shit?
I'm pretty sure it was like a solid. I'm pretty sure it was a Mr. Hanky. I'm pretty sure it has some definition to it. Cause you're not about to just liquid shit in the bed.
That's what I'm saying.
And
like,
then get back in bed. I don't give a fuck if your drunk crash. I don't give a fuck. We're both gonna have a bad night tonight.
That is a story.
And I wanted to share that one. I had to get that one out. As far as just what's going on in media, I mean, shit, it's what's everybody been talking about so far. Rick Ross.
I wondered if he shit in the bed and he felt like this was his cop out.
It could be.
Think about it. Rick Ross shits in the bed. That's gonna draw. He'd be clowned on for weeks, for months. But if it's Rick Ross had a heart attack, is in the hospital, then he gets a different. Rick Ross shit in the bed with 2 strippers.
What's so bad is that he actually did shit in the bed, but it's not because.
Wait, he really did shit in the bed?
Yeah, they say. Listen, first of all, getting off this asshole for a second. If you haven't heard the story, Rick Ross was found unresponsive in his crib. Mm-hmm. He was drooling. They said his eyes was in the back of his head, and he voided his bowels. All the signs that the nigga is dead.
Right.
Like there is no, like, I've never heard of, outside of, old girl's date, I've never heard of you just voiding your bowels strictly off of being passed out. I've heard of you pissing yourself, but I've never heard of shitting yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the story, honestly, it's stories all over the place, because they said that he was drooling, eyes in the back of his head, voided his bowels, but he was combative with the ambulance. With the paramedics when they were trying to put him in the ambulance. So it's like, how are you so out of it that you shit yourself, yet you could put up a fight? Like, someone really medically inclined is going to let us know in the comments how this shit is possible. But until we have that conversation, none of that shit makes sense.
Unless dude was just like he was on something and was super fucked up.
And that's the first thing I thought. But when they say coming to Ross,
is he still messing with lean?
Apparently he never messed with lean. Apparently he's just been nothing but weed.
I ain't never heard of weed making you have seizures. Shit, I've
was
heard
Ross
weed.
Part of the seizure crew? Because I had the conversation with Chips.
He did have a seizure, and they were saying it was lean and shit like that. He had a seizure. I think it was a couple years ago. I've never heard weed do that. I've heard weed actually stop people from having seizures.
Yeah, of course. They use that to stop seizures.
Yes, but no, he had a few seizures. I think he had 2. If I'm not mistaken, he had 2.
Because I was literally just having that conversation with Chips not too long ago. And was that like about 2 days ago? Yeah. obviously, because this shit happened to Rick Ross 2 days ago. And I brought it up, and he was like, that he never really heard of him, being on that shit. And really, I didn't either. But obviously, I missed out.
Only reason I can assume that because he dealing with Wayne and he dealing with so many different people that does it. It's hard for me to believe that he wasn't doing it once or twice.
It ain't hard for me. I done been around niggas doing coke, doing lean, them motherfuckers was going through the drug Rolodex, bro. I was like,
playing Russian roulette with drugs. Well, but
I'll just take the blunt.
But I'm talking about people. Somebody in his stature, he probably thinking it's less than what it really is until he probably had that seizure. I don't for this particular situation. I don't know though. This one, like you said, the story's all over the place. All I know is he was with 2 strippers.
And that's the that's the weird shit, because even with the 2 stripper part, I'm hearing that was a random story that got tossed out. Because first it was pneumonia, and then it was he was being kept alive on a breathing machine, and then Fat Trail, who I 1 completely fucking forgot about, and 2 completely fucking forgot that he's on MMG. Fat Trail comes out and he's like, "Nah, the boss is good, nothing wrong with Rick."
Isn't he supposed to say that though?
No, because once you say that, it's like, okay, then let's hear from Rick. And I mean, the type of dude that Rick Ross is really the type of dude any of these rappers are. If they're good, they're going to make sure everyone knows they're good. I don't think that news was going to come from Fat Trail.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I think that's probably why I got brushed under the rug. So like I said, it was pneumonia, and now I'm starting to see that it was potentially a heart attack. So I'm like, we're throwing out all this random shit, but what's the truth? Why was he unresponsive? Why
did he shit himself?
Why did he shit himself? Ultimately, it's a shitty world we're living in.
You know how embarrassing it'd be to shit yourself and you got 2 strippers in the bed. You know they got to be the baddest of the bad.
They have to be. It's Rick Ross.
And you just shit yourself. So regardless on how it went down, whether something really happened or not, they know that you shit yourself.
That's all they go. When someone's potentially dead next to you, I don't think you give too much of a fuck. Now, if he survived, they're going to bring it up.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying this with expecting that he's going to pull it through and be good. They're going to be like, yo, remember we was messing with Ross and he shit himself?
Yeah, so, I mean, the best bet, nah, man. But on some serious shit, though, that was a huge shocker for hip-hop. Because that's not really what you were expecting to hear that day. Especially when you knew that he was just promoting Port of Miami 2. I think he just got a release date for it. Like, the nigga was working. The nigga was moving. So to hear that he potentially may pass away, bro, that shit was unexpected.
Yeah.
It's not like and I had this conversation with Jay, too. It's not like Pun to where, when you hear him on It's So Hard, he's like, I just lost 100 pounds. I'm trying to live. But what's 100 pounds off of a 600-pound dude? You know what I mean? Like, you're still 500 pounds. Certain things isn't too much of a shocker, even though it's sad. Too much, dealing with your weight loss is a shocker.
Right.
Ross, damn near your size right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he got small.
So it's like he's putting in work. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. So if it is a heart attack, it's one of those, nigga, what do you do to stay healthy? What do you do to avoid these kind of things?
I think you got to change the people you're around.
Yeah.
I think you got to change the people you're around, because whether we like to believe it or not, the people that we keep company with, they influence us some way or another.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think he just got to change the people that he around. If he thought he was healthy before, he better get even more healthier, you know what I mean? If that is the case. If it's something deeper than that, then you got to get that shit addressed, or you can be checked out of here a lot sooner than what he planned.
You know what's scary about that? Like, even though we're mentioning about dude being healthy and everything, I was watching this video not too long ago. I'm just gonna be real. I watch a lot of random morbid shit sometimes.
No, sometimes I do too.
And there's like this compilation video of all of these soccer players just dropping dead on the fucking field. Like having massive heart attacks. Like there was this one soccer player, super popular dude, can't remember his name. And even if I did, I wouldn't be able to pronounce it, just being honest with you. And he was running, for the ball, and he just dropped to his knees and then falls out. They resuscitate him. He walks off the field and then falls out again in the locker room and dies.
That's crazy.
Just dies. And I'm like, soccer players are easily the most physically fit athletes in the world. They go out there and they run for an hour and a half. You know what I mean? Shit, no longer than that. I'm sorry, I think it's like 90 minutes each set.
I think so. They do some running.
They do some fucking
That's
running.
a big ass field. They do some running.
Right. Back and forth. There ain't no timeout tags,
Right.
none of that, no
None of
quarters,
that
none of that.
Yeah.
So these are the most physically fit people, when it comes down to athletics. And my man just dropped dead. And a few of them have just dropped dead.
That's scary. And it's funny you bring that up because growing up playing ball in high school, that used to be one of my biggest fears. And I don't even know what reason I had to have that fear, but that was one of my fears, that I'll be playing and just fall out.
Just fall out, right.
And then you hear about it happen, of course, with other basketball players, but that makes you think, what?
They made a movie about it with 6 Man.
True, but yeah, they did make a movie about it. But I'm talking about players like Hank Gathers, like players that have genuinely fell out. That just
died on the court, yeah.
Right. How I got over that fear was because I learned that these people had a condition that they just didn't know about. And that's what I like to...
Or they were on drugs.
Yeah, or they were on drugs.
Because I know, Lynn Bias, he died in practice, didn't he? Or did he die on the court, too?
I don't think he died in practice or on the court. I think he died when he was doing the drugs.
Oh, he died during the overdose.
Yeah, I think that's when he died. That's the reason why I would never touch coke. I'm terrified of that shit. But ultimately, that's how I ended up getting over that fear, but it doesn't change the fact that it still is scary. You can be most physically fit, doing everything right, and next thing you know, you're not here no more.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. That's not fucking fair.
It's not.
Like, damn, I could die being fat. I could die being fit. I could die being active. I could die living a sedentary lifestyle. Like, what do you do to just not die? How do I get 90 years out of this
Right.
life?
How do I maximize that? Then you find out people that live their life the shittiest. They be living the longest.
The longest.
Nigga tried every drug imaginable, but
Right.
he 82.
I think he lived to be like 105. Like, his skin looked like bottom of people's feet. Like, he was super fucking old, bro. And nigga did it like, they said he smoked a pack of cigarettes a day. Like, bro, you're
That's
105.
crazy.
They say he started smoking at 18.
You know
You
how
smoked a pack of cigarettes a day?
That's a lot of cigarettes.
Bro, his lungs look like this mic, first of all. Secondly, how'd you make it 105 years with no cancer and then you die of natural causes?
That's wild.
Like, that's the most. But then you look at soccer players dropping dead on the field. Like, what's the favor? How are you being favored? In life, that shit is so hard to determine.
That's a really, really good question. I don't have the answer to that one.
Bro,
I don't even have an inkling on what that could be.
That shit is scary. And just kind of, bringing it back to Ross, you look at how he was really turning his shit around. And then something like this happened. That's why the first thing I thought was some kind of an overdose.
I still think that could be the case. Because, I mean, even though people can have heart attacks, I don't think nobody just dropping out and having a heart attack.
No, people are.
Well, I know they are.
People
I know they
left
are.
and right.
I know they are, but I'm saying, like, without there being some underlying cause. You're not going to be...
Like heart disease or something?
Yeah, you know what I mean? You're not going to be in the best shape of your life, never had any injuries or any issues, and all of a sudden you have a heart attack. Something had to be wrong. This is why I think that it was drug-related.
But you know what? Who the first person I thought about when it happened? And this is the only reason I didn't think it was drug-related, even though there's a strong chance that it's drug-related just because of the culture. The first person I thought about was Charlie Murphy, where we saw him getting smaller. And people were like, I wonder if he's sick. But then he was getting smaller, but he still had some kind of, muscle definition. And then he just died out of nowhere. Oh, yeah, he's been battling leukemia this entire time. Like, God forbid that this is even the case with Ross, but he could have been a situation of, heart disease that he just never told people about.
That's true. That's true. That's very true. The only reason I feel so strongly that it's drugs is because the nigga was in there with 2 strippers. He probably was trying to get as lit as possible so he can max them 2 strippers out.
Hitting coke off butt cheeks.
Something. He gonna need some type of stamina. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little bit too much coke. Maybe not enough to... Well, I guess technically, yeah, he would have OD'd. I would not be surprised if that is the case. Because I'm going to say lean, like, you don't want to do shit.
It couldn't have been lean.
Because you don't want to do shit, right?
Down,
yeah. So, yeah, maybe
How you gonna
it
say
was.
you don't want to do shit, right? Like, I was like, yeah, last time I had my lean.
Yeah, you don't want to do
fucking
shit.
know.
Right? Well, from what people say,
right?
They say you don't want to do shit. So I would not be surprised. I hope that's not the case because that opens up another can of worms. He got some vices he need to deal with. But at the same time, I hope it's not no thing like heart disease because that's another issue.
It's one of the situations where you don't know what route
I'm hoping this was
go
one
with.
of those one-offs that went to the extreme, and whatever he did, he knows not to do it again.
Never do it again.
Yeah.
But it does. Where it sucks is we're going to be happy that he's going to make it out, but he's not going to be able to escape the fact that he shook his shit on himself.
I don't think nobody. I wonder how many people have took a shit on themselves in regular You know, regular shit. Well, I'm pretty sure every day, but as an adult, as a kid, you can't help it. But as an adult, can you remember the last time you shit on yourself?
Nah, because I think around that time I probably couldn't speak.
Exactly.
I didn't have much memory.
Exactly. So something has to be going on for men to just be shitting on themselves. And then being able to get back in the bed with said person. That's funny, dog.
Next to the shit.
That's funny. Oh, that leaves another question. So, like, after they clean it up, do they just not talk about that? Just roll over and go
That's
to
the
sleep?
only option. You can't get back in bed and have a conversation about, like, hey, so you mad? Like, you can't have it. Yes, I'm mad, nigga. You shit in my bed.
I want to know. Oh, it's so mean. I got to come up to the job and meet these people.
Because I'm going to try to get the whole story, and I'll definitely come back with a part 2 next week for the hustles.
I want to know the dynamic of this situation. Do they still talk? Are they friends? Are they cordial? What does he say happened? What does she say?
Well, like I said, according to her, they don't speak.
I hope not.
But the dick was good enough to take 2 shits in the bed, so she could be lying.
That's true too. That's true. What if that wasn't the only time that they dealt with each other?
And this was the last.
That could have been just one of the things that happened. They still dealing with each other. What if he shits on himself like tonight? They getting it in tonight. He shits on himself. Do you continuously?
What if he shits during and like mid position change, like she's getting on top and her knee gets in it?
Oh no! Oh no!
And it's fresh shit, so it's got that.
No. Oh man.
I know they're probably tired. We've officially talked about shit as much as we've talked about robots. Y'all know what show y'all listening to. God damn it.
Oh man.
But above all, man, prayers for Rick Ross, and we definitely hope he pulls through this. At least let's get some word that he's off of the breathing machine or something.
Yeah. Anytime life support machines are thrown in the mix or even mentioned, that's scary.
Like, think about all the celebrities that's been on life support these last few years. None of them has made it out.
That's true.
None of them. Now,
That's
granted,
true.
and to your point, majority of them were drug related.
Yeah.
But none of them has made it out. So prayers up to him. Prayers to his family as well to stay strong. Now, we didn't really have much to talk about with this episode, but I just thought about something that came to mind. Obviously, when you think about something, it obviously comes to mind.
Yeah.
So that was a dumb comment. But so Monique went on the Breakfast Club. Did you see that interview?
I did not see the interview, and the only reason I didn't want to watch the interview because I felt like she would just be in there with her whiny, yelling voice, and I didn't want to put myself through that, so I didn't. But I did hear what the gist of their conversation was.
She was chill, and even though I agree with a lot of the conversation, she really did read Charlamagne, but not to the point that his shit is just done with. Like he's still gonna rock, but I still don't agree with her being the figurehead behind equal pay, because I still feel as if she is using a real situation in Hollywood to get what she wants. Because like we had the conversation on a few shows ago, this has always been a problem. This has always been a problem. Why is it not something that we need to attack right now? Or why is it something that we need to attack right now once it happens to you?
You're talking about the whole equality thing, right?
Yeah, the equal pay. Tiffany Haddish, she just signed a deal with Netflix. She didn't disclose how much it was for.
I heard that deal had been done though before this Monique thing even transpired.
Yeah, but I guess they just put the word out about it. And she said, it wasn't, in the millions, but it was definitely enough to take care of myself and my family for quite some time.
Right.
So I'm like, now we should have the conversation. Because when you're talking about niggas that's hot, if you really look at it, where Tiffany Haddish is right now is where Amy Schumer was when she got her special. And Amy Schumer got some M's.
I think Tiffany might even be bigger
she
than
may
Amy
be
was.
bigger.
Yeah.
Because Girls Trip was huge.
Right.
And even though it was huge and it was well reviewed, all the shit that Amy Schumer did was big, but people shitted on it.
Right. And I think and the difference too is the follow up. I don't think Amy had a big enough follow up after that movie like Tiffany did. Tiffany made sure she was on every platform.
Right. So now I feel the conversation should be it. I just hate the fact that everyone is like, oh, we should be standing with Monique. Like, she's finessing you. She's finessing the fuck out of you.
Right.
If we need to stand with anybody, we need to be standing with Tiffany Haddish. But because Tiffany Haddish comes from nothing, you know, she's finally seeing fame. She's finally having the recognition. I don't think she recognized that she was lowballed, considering where she's at right now.
Okay, now with that, let me play devil's advocate for a minute. Do you think she's hot? Don't get me wrong. Not only was she hot from Girls Trip, she's still white hot right now. Mm-hmm. Do you think Netflix should have jumped out the window and gave her some M's? And this would have been her. I think she's only had one stand-up special, right? Do you think they should have jumped out the window and gave her those M's with her resume not being as complete as other acts, if you will?
Should she got 10, 11 mil? No. Should she got close to what Amy Schumer got? Yes.
What did Amy Schumer get? I forget.
I think she got like 7 mil, something like that.
I might even say she gets 7. Not just yet.
Well, no, that's why I said close. The only reason I say that is because before she did, I think that was called the Leather Special, the one that Amy Schumer did. Mm-hmm. Before she did that, what other stand-up do we know of Amy Schumer?
Well, we got to look at it 2 different ways. We got to look at it as maybe she didn't have no other stand-up, but we also have to look at she is not the comedian for us, for our demographic.
She's not, but, you know, on the flip side, we still hear about these stand-up shows. We still have footage of these stand-up shows. With Tiffany, you know, you couldn't have, you know, whether you were or weren't checking for Tiffany Haddish beforehand, that's your own, you know, idea. But you can still go back and find her at the Laugh Factory. You can still go back and find her on Def Comedy Jam. Mm-hmm. You know, you can see what she did, you know, with the movies and how she's doing. And she just got signed on to a TV show.
The Last OG.
The Last OG, Martin. Yeah. And isn't that on a major network?
TBS.
She just got signed onto a major network.
Yeah.
And I think she's actually one of the executive producers on the show.
She might be. I'm not sure. She might be.
And people are hyped for The Last OG.
Yeah. When I first seen it, the first trailer, whatever they put out for it, I was like, oh, that look trash. But the most recent one I just recently seen, like I think the day before yesterday, I was like, that's actually might be pretty good.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, she has made moves since Girls Trip. She's made moves. So I'm like, she may not necessarily deserve what Amy Schumer got, but she should have easily been in the M Club.
And I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve any of this, because by all means, I agree with you on that. I'm just saying maybe this first trip, again, we don't know how much it was. I think maybe I would have gave her $1.5 million for whatever this contract was. And then the next one is that's when she can break the bank, because I feel like even though she's white hot right now, I feel like she's still trying to prove herself. To me, she's like Curry, his third year. Right after he came back from the bad ankles, he started lighting shit up, and he was like, okay, I see you. And then the next year, he started lighting it up again. That's what I feel like she's in a space right now. I think she's Curry when he just started lighting shit up. So she's going to be hot. I don't see her career dumbing or dying down any time soon. I just don't think Netflix, the way their metrics are, I just don't think that they felt, and I kind of agree with them, that she should get so much right now. Now, if they come back with this next deal, whatever she does with Netflix, and they try to lowball her, then we got some shit to talk about.
And like I said, the only reason I disagree is because her level of success, it kind of mirrors where Amy Schumer was when she got her big Netflix special.
Okay, so what happens if they put her in the M's and she fulfills this contract negotiation, and then she kind of falls off? Then what?
Not to mention she just had she got the Super Bowl commercials as well. So that was a hell of a paycheck there as well. Yeah. Like, bro, she's buzzing. She's buzzing.
I'm not saying she's not. I agree. I just, with their metrics and how they looking at shit, I don't think that she should got M's right now. Better be close to him. If they was giving her $800K for 2 specials or whatever the case is, knock them 2 specials out.
Go back and get more. No, at the end of the day, the fact that you took the deal, no matter what the price, as long as you was getting paid what you felt was life-changing, what you felt was comfortable, do your thing, knock them out the park, force their hand to offer you more the next time around.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. She to me, I think what she's going to do, she's going to do what Monique should have did.
Mm-hmm. No, and I agree. But where my argument is coming into play is I keep going back to it. I hate to keep repeating myself, but I don't see too many differences between where Amy Schumer was when she got her M's and where Tiffany Haddish is right now. So, and another thing I also thought about that made me, feel like Monique's whole argument is really just about her and not for black people, because she's going off of equal pay for women as well, but she's saying she's doing this for all black people. No one has asked what Cat Williams got. No one asked what Marlon Wayans just got a Netflix special come out.
Which I hear is awful, but
it's not the greatest. I'm not going to say it's awful. It had a couple chuckles to it, but it definitely wasn't.
He's just not somebody that I think he's funnier when it comes to sitcoms and shit like that, maybe movies. I just don't see him as a stand-up comedian that can just deliver jokes.
Right.
He was never that type of dude to me.
Honestly, and I probably get shit at least from old heads that listen to the show. None of the Wayans are really stand-up quality comedians.
I agree with you on that one.
None of them. But he got his Netflix special, and that's only because Marlon is making moves. But no one asked how much that nigga got paid, because why?
That's true.
Because he's not argument, because no one cares. Monique cares about herself. She don't care about no one, and she even congratulated Tiffany Haddish. Like, while we're sitting here if your main thing is this protest, that should have been your supreme moment to step up and be like, sister, you shouldn't have done that. Like, if you're pushing everyone to boycott Netflix, and then a black woman comes, takes a deal before any of your shit was even spoke about. So why weren't you pushing her to back out of the deal? Why are you congratulating her?
You're right
someone's
about
gonna
that.
tell me. Someone's gonna tell me in the comments. Someone's gonna tell me personally. Whatever the fuck, why am I trying to pit two black women together? Whatever the fuck the case is, that's not what the fuck I'm doing. I'm saying be true to your words.
Yeah, I know. I understand what you're saying. And I actually agree with that. If she was all about this equality, she should have definitely been telling Tiffany, like, yo, you took the short end of the stick,
right?
And you didn't have to.
You took the easy payout. You could have really held out, but you congratulated her.
So yeah, that plays into your argument that she's only out for her.
She's only out for her. Like, she didn't ask Tiffany how much you got paid. None of that. If your main thing was Amy Schumer, why? And I'm pretty sure everyone sees the parallel between her and Amy. I'm talking about Tiffany. Why didn't you bring it to the forefront? How much did Tiffany get paid? Like, why weren't the questions asked? Because you don't care. You only care that Monique, got lowballed.
And what's crazy is, with that whole thing is, I don't understand why she kind of feels the way she feels. What has she done? I can't remember the last time I seen Monique on TV that wasn't a rerun.
It's been some time.
I truly can't remember that. And I don't know. I agree with you. I think Monique is really out for herself. Yeah, I mean, that's really what with Monique, man. I never was a huge fan, but watching her do this most recent stuff has been real tasteless to me. So I kind of been like pushing it to the side a little bit.
I'm not converting just because it's the thing to do now, just because she's screaming, let's be unified and black when you came at Oprah and Tyler Perry. And then we're just supposed to forgive that now because we're having a let's be black moment. But Tiffany Haddish, I truly believe, got lowballed, and she should be the conversation piece right now.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying with that. And if Monique was truly stand up to her words, she should have been bringing that to the forefront as well.
Even if it was a mill, if it was just Tiffany. Now, granted, I think this is Tiffany Haddish's biggest payday with what she got from Netflix. But even if it was a mill, I'd be more comfortable with that, because Tiffany Haddish is doing some crazy work right now.
She is. She definitely is.
She's
and
easily the hottest female in acting right. She's the hottest black female in acting right now.
I can agree with you on that.
Well, maybe I don't know.
I was just about to say, Lupita might have that one, but Tiffany is not too far.
She's not too far off whatsoever. And she's okay. I would say she's the most in demand actress right now.
I can agree with you, man. She's more in demand, and it's crazy because of the background she's came from, like literally nothing to where she is now. So that's big us. Maybe Monique was congratulating that. Maybe she was congratulating that more so than the contract. I don't know. I just think that she kind of put her foot in her mouth. You know what I mean? She should have took whatever chump change that they were asking for. Still could have had, what she could have did was took the money that they were offering her, and in her stand-ups talk about everything she went on this tour to talk about.
Yeah, because you still owe me the money. I still gave you your stand-up.
Yeah, she could do that, and then that would have made her a little bit more in demand. But to me, it was like Monique was like, oh,
and yo,
y'all handing out checks. Let me go get one.
Low-key, I would have respected that more. If you felt like you got lowballed and then you go on Netflix and diss Netflix, bro, that's gangster. You're easily my favorite female comedian now.
Easy.
That could have been the easiest thing you did, but it's like you felt as if you got lowballed. You felt as if you deserved some M's, and you didn't get that.
She could have took this route, and to really be true to her word, been an advocate for this equal play, at least when it came to Netflix, because she could have did the deal, diss Netflix. And then they were going to come back around because if she's dissing Netflix in the right way, people are going to talk about it. So Netflix could have came back around and offered her more money. And at that point, she could have been like, okay, we can do this, but I need a Queens of Comedy tour and put other female artists on. Mm-hmm. She could have been like the staple of that. But instead, she got upset. And
there were other ways to do it. And she really could have finessed the system.
Yeah.
And even with Tiffany Haddish taking the deal and then hearing that she didn't get millions, this was the perfect time to be like, this is what I'm talking about. Look at Tiffany Haddish. Look at what she's doing. Look at her current success. This has been a perfect time, but you congratulated her and you moved the fuck on because you don't want it to be about Tiffany Haddish. You want it to be about you.
Yeah.
So now I'm not hopping on this I agree with Monique train. I agree that black women deserve equal pay in all forms of whatever the fuck they're doing. But I don't agree with Monique because Monique's whole mission is about Monique. It's not about black women.
And to the people that I see talking about, we're with Monique. If you're with Monique, then tell me something she's been doing. Go support some of her shows. They said like a lot of her shows that she was doing weren't even getting sold out. It was a few people there. You know what I mean? Like she was doing bad as far as going out there, getting back into the stand-up routine. If you supporting her now, then you should have been supporting her when she was at the shows. If you see Monique was on a headline or something, go check it out. If that's truly how you felt. Mm-hmm. You're sounding just like she is right now. I don't know. I mean, shit, I would love to have $500K.
Hell yeah.
I'd be the happiest man in the world right now with $500K.
They could offer us $10K to do this show live. Guess what? My black ass gonna be on Netflix,
right? Doing this show live,
doing the motherfucking Noise
with
live.
A big ass grin on my face.
How you doing? Welcome to the Noise. I'll give you a little jig. I mean, shit. Just to close out this episode, the Oscars was today.
Yeah,
technically yesterday because people are listening on Monday, but the Oscars happened. None of the winners were who I thought was going to win. Outside of Gary Oldman. I knew Gary Oldman was going to take Best Actor because he was Winston Churchill, straight up.
Yeah.
Other than that, I was shocked by everybody. Well, I was pleasantly surprised by all the winnings.
I didn't watch enough of it to be pleasantly surprised because it was real drawn out. Don't get me wrong, man. The Oscars to me. And if you've been following with the show, you know what I want to do. I definitely want to get to the Oscars at least one time in my life. But to me, it just seems so, at least this particular time, it seems so industrialized. You know what I mean? Like you didn't, to me, it felt like they weren't connecting to the art that is film. I thought a lot of the movies that people that won, I never even heard of before. I can't say if they're good or bad. I know for a fact, though, that I'm not finna be intrigued by watching this mute woman deal with this merfish. Like, I don't know. Maybe I need to check it out to try to figure out what the Academy saw when they gave this award. But to me, it felt like the Oscars was, to me, it felt like any other time. I thought last year's Oscars were better than this year.
Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't. I think people just finally said fuck it because normally it's the Oscar so white conversation, but I'm like, shit, the Oscar was super white. This is the whitest Oscar we've had in some time.
Yeah. I feel so sorry for Denzel. Every time they be showing his face, it's like he know.
Yeah, because I caught the tail end of it. I caught just the Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Picture. And when Denzel was clapping, you know, when they nominated him for when he got the nomination for Best Actor, the crowd loved it. You know, you heard him woo the whole nine. And he was just clapping like, I'm just here.
Yeah, I'm just here. Like, at this point, I think he just goes because he ain't got nothing else to do.
Basically. Well, nah, it's Denzel. That nigga always got something to do.
Well, possibly, but I mean, shit. He goes to these events because he's of the culture. And I figure if he wasn't going to get one for Fences, then they ain't going to give him one.
That's true. I mean, should you get one for being a slave and being a bad guy?
Well, yeah. Of course. That's how we like to be viewed as. This is why I'm so happy when I see other artists achieve, even if it's a lower award, if you will, than the Oscars, when they achieve an award for anything, because people are starting to recognize their talent outside of being a slave, outside of being a drug dealer or something like that. I love to see it. I was really hoping Get Out could have done more, but I'm happy he got something.
Now, with Get Out, first of all, big up to Jordan Peele.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was the first black winner of the original screenplay.
Mm-hmm. So I think they said it was only, including him, 4 nominations.
Yeah, it was only 4
in the 90 years, and he won. Think about it, 4 in 90 years. That's crazy.
Shit, think about the gap between Sidney Poitier and Denzel winning Best Actor.
Crazy.
Think about the gap between Hattie McDaniels just being the first black person, period, to win Best Supporting Actress, and Halle Berry winning Best Leading Actress.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the gap is ridiculous, and it's stupid that there's even a gap like that.
Right.
Considering all the stuff that we've done. But outside of that, Jordan Peele made history.
Yeah. One of the things actually that my girl told me, he said, because I missed his whole thing, she was like, I guess in his speech he had mentioned that he started and stopped writing that like 20 times. So he just felt like nobody would want to watch that. Mm-hmm. So for him to keep going, it helps me out in this little writer's block slump I am now, to see that somebody's dealing with the same struggles that I currently have, and they're able to overcome those struggles and ultimately win something that was impactful to the community of film. I thought that was dope. So it's definitely a huge shout out to him.
I think that with that win, I don't think it's going to change much about the Academy, but I do think it's going to spark a lot more black creatives, black writers, black directors.
Yeah.
I think it's going to help push it along a little more. And I'm not sure. I haven't even had a chance to look it up before I make this statement, but I'm not sure if there's been a black director win Best Director.
That's a good day, yeah.
Now, granted, he was up for it, but I don't think there's been a black director win Best Director.
You think next year Ryan Coogler get it?
Unfortunately, no, because I haven't seen too many superhero flicks in the running for anything outside of like cinematography and makeup and costume and stuff like that. I don't see superhero movies get up like that. I think the last superhero flick that I've seen truly get an Oscar nod, and please correct me if I'm wrong, was Joker for Best Supporting Actor, and he's won at that. Mm-hmm. But part of me kind of feels the same way I feel about Get Out's Best Picture nod. Felt like that was just a pity nod.
Think so?
And the only reason I say that is because, to my knowledge, Get Out wasn't in the Best Picture conversation.
Yeah, a lot of the things that I had seen up until this day was like they're not even considering it. Right,
and then the Disaster Artist got pulled, I think, from all contention. I don't know if it was up for anything else, but Disaster Artist got pulled after the shit James Franco got caught up with. So I felt like they threw Get Out in there, just hopefully no one notices. So I knew they weren't going to win.
Right.
So I feel like the Oscar throw these little pity, little pity nods just to see, just to get people to shut the fuck up for a little bit.
I want to know what is their structure. I want to know first of all, I want to know what is their structure and how they determine who gets what and where. And I also want to know who are the people involved in that structure. Because it's a lot of great movies, a lot of great actors and actresses that don't get anywhere near the recommendation or the nods that a movie like The Shape of Water gets. To this day, I still don't know what that movie's about. And yet it won, Best Picture? Mm-hmm. That's, yeah.
The lady that won Best Actress, I was surprised, but I was pleasantly surprised about Frances McDormand, because she did her thing in that 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Like, you believe that she was with the shits. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. It's a very hick movie. It is hick to be damned. I don't think
What's it called?
3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
No, I haven't heard of that.
I think the only black person in it is she was actually up for an Oscar. What's her name? Octavia Spencer. Mm-hmm. And basically, it's the movie. The movie's about her daughter was murdered, and the cops never solved the murder. So she bought 3 billboards calling out the cops, and it just sent like the city in shockwaves. And bro, if you watch the trailer, it's insane. Like she was with the shits.
I'm gonna have to take a look at that. I never heard about that.
But she ended up winning Best Actress. What else did I want to speak on? Kobe.
Yeah, man.
The Mamba.
You know,
5 rings and a motherfucking Oscar.
Growing up, I had a love-hate with Kobe. And I think it was, I loved him because of the basketball, because this man was a god on the court. But I think I hated him more so because of the fans than anything. As I got older and as I started to see, I want to say Kobe's last 3 years in the league, that's when I truly fell in love with him as a basketball player. So to see
really,
him,
that's when I hated him as a basketball player.
I think I fell in love with him because I'm able to go back and see what all the fans were saying beforehand and also see who he was as a person. And I think that's probably why. But that Oscar, like, he was genuinely happy. Like, that felt good to see.
That's something different.
Yeah. Now, I got to ask you this question. If you're Kobe, would you rather have that 6th ring or would you rather have this Oscar?
I'd rather have this Oscar because it's something Jordan never did.
I agree with you on that. Now, I think the Oscar probably meant more to him because, I mean, once you win that first one, you know you can do it. I don't think nobody, even the people that have won Oscars, know if they're going to win another Oscar again.
Right.
So I think that's something different. And
Denzel even said in his first speech, "I don't know if I'll be back here again."
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's
enjoy it while I have it.
Yeah, I think that's something different. And it's a basketball player winning a fucking Oscar
Off of a poem.
Yeah, and it's the same poem that he or the speech that he did once he did retire. And as a basketball player, when you watch the visuals with that as a basketball player, that means something. Especially if you're a basketball player and your dreams of making it pro have been derailed like mine. Like that meant something. When my body was like, can't do it no more. That meant something. You know what I mean? So kudos to Kobe.
Is he the first basketball player to win an Oscar?
Yep.
Wow.
That has not been done before. Ain't no basketball player did what he did when he retired. From not only from the 60 points, but just the whole poem. Like he took the time out to write that and put it out there. Nobody knew I'm retiring. They have their little ceremony and they call it.
Bro, that's going to change the game. Like I know Kobe's diving into different ventures right now while being retired, but bro, you got an Oscar, your first round out.
Yeah.
And again, that's something that Jordan never did. That's something Jordan's never going to do.
Exactly.
You know, so hell yeah, I'd be more proud of the Oscar than not getting that 6th ring. It was something else I was going to say about the shit, but it just completely left me. Either way, man, big up to Kobe because that's insane.
Yeah.
That's got to be a great feeling to know that something that you wrote out of your just love for basketball was considered worthy enough to be, you know, put on par with all these renowned creators, you know.
Right. Basically,
like these people, they have clout. They have a fucking Carfax.
And not only that,
and you beat them all.
This was their career.
Yeah,
the
it's what they
entire
do.
time you were in the NBA, their job was to make shit.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, that's huge. And then like I don't know if you actually saw the visual with it, they were great. Whoever actually put it together, they were nice. They knew what the hell they were doing. So that was big shout out to Kobe.
Fan. They had to be a Kobe fan.
Yeah. I don't think you can just go get any regular person to do that.
The only thing that takes away from it for me is the fact that the Oscars will sometimes throw us a bone. I say that with quotes because even though I fucked with the song, Hard I Hear for a Pimp wasn't supposed to get an Oscar. 3 6 Mafia are not supposed to be Oscar award winning group 3 6 Mafia. Granted, I'm happy they are. That is amazing. That's black excellence on a whole new level. They weren't supposed to get that Oscar.
I would have to revisit that particular part of the conversation only because I don't remember the everything that was surrounding that particular Oscar moment.
I know there was a Disney song that was in the running.
Really? Yeah. I don't remember that whole time. But for this point, the only reason I don't feel like they were throwing Kobe a bone is because a lot of people didn't even know Kobe were supposed to be getting a nod for this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I thought that was dope. I don't know who else was in contention with him. At this point, it don't matter. Fucking Kobe won. But I don't think it was a bone though. I don't think it was here. It was a bone. I couldn't agree with you on the Get Out thing. I can see with it, but I don't think they're gonna give us 2 bones now. It's either gonna have to be.
They knew Get Out couldn't walk away empty-handed. There'd be a riot.
Think so?
Yeah, Get Out couldn't walk away empty-handed.
And the crazy part about Get Out is I love the movie, but it wasn't the best movie. The thing that separated Get Out from the rest of the movies is that it was original. Mm-hmm. They used actual real fear to go along with this movie. They had science involved. It was a lot of good things involved. I just don't feel like it was the best movie. You know what I mean? So I can see how they probably would win Best Picture for that. Do I feel like they should have won something? Absolutely. Maybe the award he got, I feel like he should have got that. Original screenplay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he should have got that.
He should have definitely gotten that. And, I mean, I may be jumping the gun, but he should have gotten Best Director as well. Because that's a movie that thrived on its shots. You felt everything that was happening, like from the close-up shots on the teacup to the angle on his face, and you just you felt the nerves. It's like, what's another movie that gives you that same feeling? Don't Breathe.
Yeah.
With that, if Don't Breathe wasn't shot the way it was shot, that movie was just stress, an hour and a half of stress. You know what I'm saying? And that's because of how it was shot. That shit was shot perfectly. Yeah. And I felt the same way about Get Out. So it's like, if he didn't get a Best Original Screenplay, he should have definitely walked away with Best Director.
I can probably rock with you on that one.
Either or.
Yeah, I can probably rock with you on that one.
So, but yeah, they couldn't, either the directing or the writing. Get Out wasn't walking away empty-handed. It'd have been a riot.
Yeah, I can see that. I think this next coming Oscars is going to be really interesting because we're already at the beginning. We're doing the first quarter, and I think we've probably had a decent first quarter movie-wise. So I'm interested to see where the rest of the year goes and how they. Now, if they do next Oscars, if we get portions where we ain't getting nothing, then I can probably subscribe to that. They just throwing us a bone.
I would think next Oscars, if Black Panther's going to get anything, it's going to be, of course, best costume design. It's going to be the shit that people don't watch the Oscars for. But if anybody's going to get anything of any kind of conversation, I can see Michael B. Jordan getting best supporting actor nod. That could be the only real award I could see walking away. Well, not maybe walking away with it. Who knows? Because people are talking about Killmonger is up there on Joker level, so he could walk away with it. But I think if any of them are going to get any kind of nod, he'll definitely get best supporting actor.
That's where I disagree. I think what made Killmonger great wasn't necessarily Michael B. Jordan. It was his lines.
Right.
So the right. No, I know that, but I'm saying the writer to me is that Oscar winner, if you will. To me, I think that best supporting probably would go to, I do not know how to pronounce her name. Denying. Basically, T'Challa's general the entire time in the movie.
Oh, from Walking Dead.
Yeah. To me, she had a better. She acted better in this movie than Michael B. Jordan. That's only because there was some scene with Michael B. Jordan where it seemed a little cringeworthy. It was a little forced.
I agree with that one.
With her, even though she may have not been in as many scenes as him, with her, it was fluent the whole way through. You couldn't tell me she wasn't an African warrior that was going to beat you the fuck up. You know what I mean? With Michael B. Jordan, I had some moments I was like, that was a little forced, Michael. We need to go back and do this take again.
The only thing I could see them doing where she would probably get fucked out of that is the fact that her character didn't really have layers. She was just with the shits.
That's
no matter
true.
what was going on,
That's
she was
true.
just with, like, even when she was torn between Wakanda and the King, she was just with the shits. That's just was her character.
Right.
Michael B. Jordan, you actually sympathize with the bad guy. Mm-hmm. And again, the only reason I'm saying Michael B. Jordan is off of the Joker win. Even though Joker was the bad guy, even though the Joker needed to be stopped, everything he was talking about made sense, and you actually sympathize with the bad guy.
Now, when I'm speaking of the Joker, were me personally, I wasn't necessarily sympathizing with him because of what he was saying, but how he was saying. He was saying it with so much conviction. I don't think Michael B. Jordan was giving us as much conviction.
Shit.
He gave
I
us.
don't know
He
which
gave.
Black Panther you watched.
He gave it to us at moments. He gave it to us as moment. But I'm talking about through and through. I didn't get it the same way I got it with the Joker. From the first scene with the Joker, he sold that shit. You knew this guy was a fucking maniac. With Michael B. Jordan, you knew he was crazy, but it was a little bit different to me, at least. I don't know. I would love for him to get that award. Don't get me wrong. I would love, if we're gonna win anything, win all that shit.
Right, run it.
You know what I mean? But I just think Denai probably had a stronger, on an acting spectrum, she had a stronger, I don't know, what's the word? I don't know, her vibe was just stronger than Michael B. Jordan's was.
Her chi was
it was just a little bit stronger.
Oh, man. Well, we'll just see next year, and hopefully something come about of it. But, congrats to all the winners at the Oscars. Didn't watch, caught the last 3. I don't think many of y'all watched either, so I'm pretty sure y'all don't care.
Now, it was a lot of awards, like you said, that people don't watch for, like a lot of editing and just different shit that people don't even know what goes into movies. They did do a good job of getting those people the awards, which I think are important, because I feel like if I'm making a movie and I didn't, let's say I costume design and I got these actors looking dope and I don't get no type of recognition for this, I'm gonna feel a certain kind of way.
Costume design to makeup, I'm like, bruh, he ain't had dreads before he did this movie. but that's true, man. Like, people don't really look at those Oscars. I think they actually give those Oscars during the commercials. Maybe
They might.
Because, it's a 3-hour ceremony, but it's like 50 Oscars that are just up.
Yeah, that's just,
grabs.
they might. Oh, this is why I need to get to one of those, because I want to know, how does it work when you're actually there? Like, when you go off to the back, do you find a way to get back to your seats, or do you just chill in the back the rest of the night? Like, how does this work?
They get you back to the seats. Unless you're presenting, then you just stay in the back.
Fuck that. Give me an Oscar. I'm going home. Lupita, come on, girl. We're going home.
Shit, you see Eminem didn't even show up to pick his up.
Well, that's his style, though.
Nah, he's picked up VMAs. He's picked up Grammys. He didn't think he was going to win. He didn't think he was going to be the guy to break in hip-hop to the Oscars. Had to be a white boy. You knew that.
Of course.
But, he didn't even show up. So they have ways going. But can you imagine being the other niggas up for best original song, and then you see this pre-recorded video of M accepting his award? I'm like, oh, so y'all knew I ain't winning this shit. But
y'all still had me here?
This tux was 2 racks.
Yeah. But I do want to do that. We're going to get to the Oscars, dog.
I'm with it.
We're going to get to the Oscars.
I'm with it.
Today, they had the 90th anniversary. By 92, if not before 92, that's the cutoff date. We in that thing.
This went way longer than what we thought it was going to go. But, good conversation either way.
Yeah.
Let people know where they can find you at.
_Hollywood Kev on Twitter and Instagram. I'm gonna try to get back on Snap, because my goal this year is to be more visual. I can't make any promise, but I'm gonna try.
At Big Los UTC. Not even going to promise that I'm going to be active on Twitter or like that. I am active on Instagram. I just don't post that much. But conversations, I'm definitely here for. I like your shit, whatever the case is. At Big Los IG on Instagram. Of course, follow at The Noize Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you want to stay connected to Beat Network, go to www.beatnetworkonline.com. Read some articles, listen to the shows, subscribe to all the links that are on there, and, of course, buy some official Beat Network merch, including The Noize Podcast. And we're actually going to have a new shirt coming at y'all really soon to kind of commemorate the Black Podcast Month and how we unified the ear hustlers forward. So we got some good shit coming for y'all.
Felt good to get back in here. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Black Podcast Month. I can't wait to do it again next year. But it felt good to come in here with you and just rock shit out for us.
Shoot the shit real quick.
Yeah,
literally the shit. That shit. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, we appreciate the support. And as always, it's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
It's The Noize.